It's increasingly looking like that the health restrictions will remain in place until 2022, and the Electoral Commission launched an investigation into Boris Johnson. Wow, the lockdown stay-at-home message is over officially, and the pubs and restaurants are allowed to open outdoors, and the indoor policy will start in May. And the government promised us that by June, 21st of June, all restrictions will go away. But as we have seen in the Telegraph, thanks to Gordon Rayner, there are a few indications that makes you think that it's not completely going to happen, because a number of policies that have already been pushed are in place, and also certain scientists, as part of SAGE, are pushing. That makes you think that, well, clearly 2021 is a write-off. The 21st of June target isn't really what we think it's going to be. Most of the restrictions will hopefully go away, but some of them might remain in place. And this is the problem with transparency. We've had Matt Hancock as Health Secretary, we had Boris Johnson as Prime Minister coming out to make promises over the last year. Now, whether you're pro-lockdown or anti-lockdown, that's a different argument. For those who are pro-lockdown, Boris Johnson's promises at the time didn't go well, and in terms of delaying the lockdown. For those who are anti-lockdown, again, promising not to do second lockdown or third lockdown, then making a U-turn. Again, they have their excuses. Not everybody's happy about this situation, but Gordon Rayner in the Telegraph mentioned a couple of things which are quite interesting. So one thing is SAGE scientists who have now pushed for baseline measures to remain in place, including social distancing and face covering for another year. So that's one thing. And also the so-called marshals, the COVID marshals that the government launched as a program, are going to start a new contract in July until 2021. I'm not really sure if we are actually going to get rid of things on the 21st of June. Why would you need these marshals to start working and walking around the streets from July until at least the end of the year into January 2022? So that's one other thing. And also the immunity passports. Even Israel, who were very, very robust on the vaccine passports, they came out and they clarified that this is just a temporary measure until everyone get the jab, or the majority, and then that's it. We're going to get rid of them. Now, in the UK, the rate is going really well in terms of people taking the jab. So I'm not really sure. Once we get to the point of June, July, and the majority have already been vaccinated, are we now going to introduce the passport? For whom? How many people? For the minority who haven't taken it? There's absolutely no logic behind this. And also, when it comes to the emergency powers, Parliament have already extended the powers until September. That's beyond the 21st of June. We talked about this before. There's absolutely no rationality behind the government wanting to have these powers extended until September. They've also extended furlough until September, but you can kind of argue that it's because of the economic hardship that's been hitting businesses. They want to make sure that employers and employees are protected for a while, even post-lockdown. But again, this magic money tree that we have discovered, not really sure how long that's going to last. So this is the main point of this. And the Prime Minister that who's insisted that the end really is in sight. Well, when you look at all these other measures that are being introduced, doesn't really look like it, does it? So when it comes to certain big businesses and establishments, theatres, cinemas, nightclubs, and big venues, stadiums, they rely on a society that's actually that doesn't have any health restrictions, because they have to be in full capacity. Social distancing is virtually impossible in those places, and they need customers to feel at home. So if any of these measures continue beyond, obviously, now and May and June, then they're going to collapse. And for those people who think that, well, just, some sort of businesses and nightclubs and a few industries, they're not trivial, especially these ones, because each of these establishments are big. They have a lot of people working for them, a lot of staff members, and also people, it's their businesses as well. So you're going to create a big problem with unemployment, with, again, mental health issues going up, and just chaos in society. So you need to make sure that there's a proper plan. So it's 21st of June. they need to make sure that all restrictions are lifted if everything's going well. And if they start having marshals walking around streets, and if they want to still push for face coverings or social distancing to continue, despite the fact that the pandemic is over, then again, someone has to answer, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to be Matt Hancock at this point. But going back to the marshals, because I still have no idea why this was even proposed. This country, even when we did a full lockdown, we didn't go all out like France or Spain or other countries. We didn't really have the police arresting people, asking for paperwork. And the marshals that apparently started working a few months ago, last summer, we didn't see much of them. And again, if they're making a lot of money as well per year, I think the proposed plan was about £30,000. I'm not really sure how much they're actually getting, but Hertfordshire County Council are wasting £3 million on these contracts for only 60 marshals. Really. £3 million of taxpayers' money being completely wasted. And this is the council's money. So this is the money that usually they raise by using council tax. And then when they run out, they go to the central government and beg for more money. So this is going to continue until, actually meaning they could be in place until 2023 in Hertfordshire. So if you live there, sorry about that. Hopefully they're going to change their mind. But things are not looking good for Boris Johnson's government overall, with all the scandals going on, with all the gossip politics, especially when it comes to his flat in Downing Street and Carrie Simmons ordering things from John Lewis. Electoral Commission are launching an investigation into this refurbishment that Boris Johnson started. They want to know where the money came from, because some of the speculations and gossip was that he wanted to use donations to do this, but he's come out to say he's used his own money. I'm not going to comment on this until we know all the facts, but it's just that all the troubles are not really making things easy for Boris Johnson, because after all the Pfizer and AstraZeneca contracts started, we saw a bounce in the opinion polls for Boris Johnson. Right now, it's not looking too good, but knowing Boris, he always comes back. So we'll see how he's going to deal with this. But the problem I have is with the mainstream media, and especially people on the left. The New Statesman, the home of communism, and Harry Lambert, who's a fellow lefty, has come out to write an article saying that Dominic Cummings has been playing Boris Johnson for far longer than he realizes. And the subtitle actually says, the question is why the Prime Minister ever let someone as untrustworthy as Cummings remain next to him. Have you noticed what they've done? Now they're using Boris as the victim, just to use him, because Cummings is a target. So for some reason they're now calling him, it's the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is a very wise man, and it's Dominic Cummings who can't be trusted. These are the same people. Harry Lambert's the same person, and obviously his colleagues who, for years, until very recently, were saying Boris Johnson is a clown. You can't trust Boris Johnson. Now it's not about Boris Johnson not being trusted. It's about Dominic Cummings. Everything is about spin with these people. So right now they're treating Boris Johnson as the Prime Minister, and it's all about Dominic Cummings. But they're trying to bring down Cummings, because if they bring him down, then Cummings will bring down Boris Johnson with him. So it's a very smart tactic, but it's just very embarrassing for the left-wing media and press to be desperate enough to do this. But I just wanted to call out the spinning mentality that they have. But all the issues with the lockdown measures will continue. I know this is a divisive topic on this channel. A number of subscribers are still very much pro-lockdown. Some people are completely anti-lockdown. Some people are in the middle who've been supporting a lockdown by believing that it's important temporarily, and then we're going to get our life back. So people keep obviously moving left and right on this issue, but I'm not really advocating an actual debate on this yet, because we've been talking about this on this channel for months. But right now I'm just concerned with transparency, or lack of transparency, that we are getting from the central government on this policy. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks again for watching. I'm Tousi, and I'll see you guys in the next video.